What up, all my fight fans? We are fresh off of UFC 330 with Ian Garry taking on Islam Makhachev. We got Islam Makhachev retaining his championship belt. We got Islam Makhachev retaining his spot at pound for pound #1, and we got Islam Makhachev, in talks of being considered a GOAT. There's all so much to talk about this whole topic and more. We're gonna get into it right now. So let's talk about the fight. Islam Makhachev and Ian Garry. Well, it was a very, very high level chess match. It wasn't something that was gonna be I already knew it wasn't gonna be no Dustin Poirier versus Justin Gaethje. It wasn't gonna be no crazy explosive back and forth war. Even the fight that he had with Volkanovski, that first fight, that was very entertaining as well. But it pretty much went a little, you know what? That's not even fair to say. It didn't go exactly how we all thought it went, because at the end of the day, Ian Garry did way better than what a lot of us originally had thought. A lot of us originally had thought that he was going to get almost steamrolled, that he was going to get taken down at will. But no, Ian Garry gave Islam Makhachev a lot of difficulties. He gave him a lot. He struggled a lot within the fight. And yeah, it was very interesting to see that. It was very interesting to see how this was all going to transpire. And with Islam still did really, really good. Islam still was able to get the better of him in most of the exchanges. But at the end of the day, you got to be very impressed with Ian Garry. So let's get more into it. In that first round, not a whole lot happened. Islam did a lot of control, had a lot of control time. He was able to hold Ian Garry up against the cage. He went and he landed a few strikes here and there. It was nothing that was going to blow your hair back. It wasn't a round of the year type of fight, but it was very strategic. Ian Garry surprised a lot of us by just standing still. He did not really maneuver a lot. We all thought he was going to move around, pick his shots and whatnot, like he does usually in his fights, but that did not happen in this one. In the second round, the biggest strike was landed by Islam Makhachev. There was some control against the cage, and then once Ian Garry was able to get loose, Islam landed this big head kick that knocked Ian Garry down. A lot of us were very surprised. One, surprised that he was even able to land that, being how tall Ian Garry is, and the fact that Ian Garry's more well-known striker than Islam Makhachev. So, but hey, he dropped him, and I thought he was going to finish him at that moment, but he did not get the finish, and Ian Garry survived the round. So in rounds 3 and 4, Ian Garry opened up a little bit more. Ian Garry was able to stop some takedowns. Ian Garry was actually able to get off the ground and off the cage with ease, and was able to land quite a few good strikes against Islam. A few body strikes against Islam. And actually, I feel like he busted Islam open, because Islam was trying to hold him up against the cage again, like usual, and he was able to land a few good strikes. There was some controversy whether it be some type of accidental either headbutt or some type of accidental strike that got Islam. But no, you look at the face of Islam. Islam got pretty much battered. You don't get that by a few accidental strikes. So I feel like Ian Garry landed and did much more damage within rounds 3 and 4. Then in the fifth and final round, where a lot of us had it going 2-2, Islam pretty much took the back and remained there for the remaining of the fight. There really wasn't much that needed to be done or had to be done by Ian Garry. He wasn't able to do anything because Islam pretty much had the whole back control, and he wasn't able to get out. He tried his best. I feel like at the end of the day, well, before I get into it, at the end, Islam gets the victory. Or I feel like it was that 5th round that did the final nail in the coffin. So let's talk about the fight. Overall, I feel like Ian Garry could have done a lot more. I feel like Ian Garry didn't have that killer instinct where he should have just went all out for it, took in the chance a little bit, went more like just take off the gloves and just go at it. Don't try to screw the game plan, whatever the case may be, and just do your best to not wrestle with Islam, not let him take you down. I know a lot easier said than done, but yeah, he just did not let his hands go enough. And he did not maneuver enough. He did not jab, get out of the way. Like, I feel like that was a really good game plan that a lot of us thought he was going to do. Like the whole Sean Strickland thing where he was just doing the T-kicks, the jab, move, make it very uncomfortable and frustrating for Islam. But be that as it may, he still made Islam Makhachev very uncomfortable. Islam Makhachev did not have a whole lot of answers for Ian Gary. You know, you could see the frustration from Islam. You could see that Islam was getting very tired, very winded, and he did not have the ability to hold Ian Gary. He did not have the ability to land a lot of ground and pound. He did not have the ability to even submit Ian Gary. You know, and with the size, with the strength, with the reach advantage, everything that Ian Gary had, you got to give it to Islam. Yes, he did actually really, really good, but still very surprisingly that it was as close as it was going to be. I'm very surprised. I really thought that Ian Gary had to do a whole lot more in order for him to win. Now, he needed to do a little bit more, but I'm thinking he had to do a great deal more, like constantly move, constantly just go for strikes, nonstop, just like basically unload. And the amount that he did, he actually almost won. So that's very impressive for Ian Gary. Now, as far as the loser goes with Ian Gary, he did not lose much stock, honestly. He really did not. Like, again, he did not get dominated. He did not get knocked out. He did not get stopped. So I don't think he loses that much stock in this fight. He has at least 2 more fights before he could get in another championship fight. Now, who is he going to fight next? Well, I don't know. That remains to be seen. You know, the division's still wide open. You still got a few contenders out there. You still got maybe a possibly Sean Brady fight that he could potentially face. Right now, we're not sure who the number 1 contender is even going to be at this moment. You got Carlos Prates. You got Michael Morales. We're still waiting to see who those guys are going to, what's going to happen with those guys. So, yeah, Ian Gary does not lose any strike, any stock going in losing the fight. Now, as far as Islam Makhachev goes, well, with him being the winner, who's he going to face next? Again, like I just said with Ian Gary, who knows? Because Islam Makhachev, Carlos Prates and Michael Morales are right there. Who I feel like deserves it a little bit more, I feel like Carlos Prates, because Michael Morales has only faced Sean Brady and got the great victory, but that's it. Where Carlos Prates is already defeated and knocked out 2 former welterweight champions. So I feel like he's earned it just a little bit more. But I do know that Michael Morales weighed in and was a backup for this fight. And he's huge. These guys are big and got a lot of power. So yeah, this is something that's going to be very interesting to see how Islam does against these guys. Because they're big, especially Michael Morales. He says that he cuts down from 220 to 170. That's a big, big, big boy. So there's a lot to be seen there that we got to wait and see what's going to happen with Islam in the next fight. He says he doesn't want to keep busy. He does, 100%. He wants to keep himself busy. He wants to be able to fight another time, maybe at December or maybe even January. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I would love to see Michael Morales and Carlos Prates face each other for the number 1 contendership. They need to throw that on the card possibly now, like as soon as possible. They should have done it in September. I have no idea why they did not do that. They need to throw it in September, maybe the very latest October, so they could, one of them could do possibly a quick turnaround against Islam Makhachev in December or January. That fight needs to happen. Those guys need to make this fight happen because that would be a very exciting fight. 2 explosive fighters, 2 really big fighters. I'm very much looking forward to it. But as far as that goes, that would be next for Islam Makhachev. As far as Shavkat Rakhmonov, we're still not sure what's going on with him. We see him moving around a little bit. I know there's still a lot more that he needs to do in order to get healthy again. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen for Islam or for Shavkat Rakhmonov. Now, with all that being said, as far as GOAT talks happen, I'm sorry, but I don't have him beating George St. Pierre. Josh Thompson, a former training partner of his, the host of the podcast, weighing in, you know, that they're good friends. I'm sure he's a homer for him, 100%. He's already admitted it. But he hasn't. If he were to beat Ian Gary, he was going to have him pass George St. Pierre. And I'm sorry, but no, 100%. I do not believe that he is better than George St. Pierre at this moment, or ahead of George St. Pierre. I do not think that with the win over Ian Gary, or even with the win over Carlos Prates and Michael Morales, puts him ahead of George St. Pierre. Only, I get what Josh is saying, like, well, he defended the belt multiple times. George St. Pierre did not. I get that, but George St. Pierre has way more championship fights. Now, if we're going to go down breaking down opponents, then we could break down Islam's all day, because Islam, like it or not, 2 title defenses were against featherweights. Like it or not, he faced a past his prime Dustin Poirier. Like it or not, he faced a very, very underprepared and not even should have been nowhere near close to this fight, Renato Moicano. And he did not clear our division. I'm pretty sure I just said that already. He did not clear our division whatsoever. He did not. So, you know, I know what people are saying as far as like, oh well, you know, there was nobody left. Yeah, there was. He was supposed to fight Arman Tsarukyan. I get it. Not his fault. It is what it is. But still, there was always the potential. If he would have stood within the lightweights, he probably very well could have. He could have fought Justin Gaethje. He could have fought Paddy Pimblett. Max Holloway went up there and knocked out Justin Gaethje, so that was another opponent there. So he did not clear out the division. George St. Pierre, John Jones cleared their divisions. There was nobody left. Zero. Yes, there's always going to be another guy. Sure, if you're really going to start digging deep. But you don't really need to dig deep for Islam because they're right there. You had a few opponents right next to you. So then you go up to welterweight and you beat JDM. JDM has not looked great since his last fight. Since losing to Islam. Has not looked great. So that win really doesn't age well, but it is what it is. It's still a win. And then he beats Ian Gary. Okay, cool. Don't get me wrong. Those still are great wins. But are they good enough for you to be pound for pound number one? Or excuse me, the GOAT number one? No, I'm sorry, it's not. And the way you've been winning, it really bothers me. The way Islam's been winning really, really bothers me because of the simple fact that you look at what he did against Volkanovski in their first fight. He had that back control. And I feel like that's what really got him that fight. I feel like Volkanovski could have got that victory, but because of the back control, what he was just holding and hand fighting with Volkanovski, that to me is not really GOAT status. Like a lot of fighters, if fighters did that, a lot of people would probably be undefeated. And you see with Ian Gary, a lot of back control, just holding. Not really a lot of submission attempts. I mean, I'm sure he's trying, but I feel like there should be some kind of rule. Like if you're not going to do it within the first minute or so, you got to get standing up. You got to, because back control, you could be there all day, and as long as you have the control, and as long as you're doing some movements, and as long as you're doing some type of attempts, you're winning the fight. And that's just, to me, like, no, that's just not a great way to win the fight. Me personally, I would not want to win the fight like that. If you're winning by knockout, if you're winning by striking, if you're winning by stopping, if you're winning by submission, great. Even if you're winning by really almost attempting submission, if you are in a submission but you just can't quite get it, okay, that's even something. But if you're just constantly on the back and not really doing much, I'm sorry, but it's just, I don't agree with that. But that's what it is. That's how he wins. That's how he technically wins. So it is what it is right now as far as that goes. So now, is Islam a GOAT right now? The greatest of all time? No. Is he in the conversation? Absolutely. Could he be a GOAT? Yeah, I feel like he could. Now, I know there was talks, I mentioned earlier, that if he really wants to be a GOAT fast, he has to go up to middleweight. No. I do not recommend middleweight because, after what we've seen with Ian Gary and after the sizes of Carlos Prates and Michael Morales, I really recommend not him. Do not go up to middleweight because those guys are way bigger than the welterweights. And I think Islam would probably even get stopped up there. So he would have to go through the division of welterweight in order to be in the GOAT conversation. Maybe be number two. I do not know. And whoever you have number two, some people have George St. Pierre number one and John Jones number two, or John Jones number one and George St. Pierre number two. I do very well feel like he could potentially be number two. I do not feel like he could be number one. I just don't, because he does not have quite enough title defenses just yet. He does not. He has a winning streak, but title defenses, I think he's at 7 or 6 right now. I'm not sure 100%. But I would really want him to fight a little longer. I really hope he does not retire anytime soon. That's my personal opinion, guys. But I'd like to hear yours. Let me know what you guys think about the fight. Let me know what you guys think of the status of Ian Gary. Let me know what you guys think about Islam Makhachev being the GOAT. Let me know, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.